How's it guys? That's the guy 376 here today, and welcome back to another episode of Untitled Cruise Ship in Minecraft. Today we're going to be doing the dining room. And before you guys say anything, I did turn off the shaders because I feel like most of you guys probably don't have them, and I should be building it more to what you guys will be able to see. So if you don't like it, then please leave it in the comment section below. I'll change it back. But anyway, so today we're going to be doing the dining room, and this is kind of like your centerpiece of the ship. So pretty much a lot of people are going to see this part, so we want to make sure it looks really nice. So we got a nice little area back here that I set up because we remember when we were building the exterior part of the ship, we left these windows here because we could add the dining room, and it adds like a nice panoramic view and everything. So there's many ways of doing dining rooms. I mean, you could go 2-story, 1-story. I like doing them 2-story. I kind of base them off Carnival Cruise Lines, so ish. So let's just go ahead and work on the floor. So again, with this you can go ahead and split the floor in half. So the reason I'm putting the bar on this side and it's not quite halfway is because once I make the floor, then it will be halfway. Then we just delete the center block, but this is just so that world edit will work, so don't mind me. So you can make it like a wood kind of thing, or you can make it like not wood. I'm gonna try to go for a wood centerpiece in the middle, like a circle kind of thing, and kind of add some detail like that, and kind of make it look nice and have like a border going around. So right now I'm just kind of designing the floor. And it is important though, because attention to detail is very, very important when it comes to this kind of stuff, so you want to make sure that you get it pretty good. So we're going to go something with this. So, choosing colors, you kind of want to keep it more bright or calmer, but not like dark, like black or gray. Typically you want to use like maybe blues and some light blue, so we'll go ahead and do /fill, maybe blue, light blue, cyan even. And we can put in light gray as well, but don't put dark gray because that's just going to look dark, and you don't want your passengers to be depressed. Alright, so this looks halfway decent. And in the middle, we're going to go ahead and add some wood. So I'm just going to add all the types of wood. So it'd be, I think it's 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5. I think that's all of them. Oh, I need to fill it. So 100. There we are. And then to have that, I'll go ahead and just delete the center block now because we don't need it, because I was just using this as a border for world edit so it doesn't go over, because we're only doing half the dining room in which we can flip it. Alright, so now we have the floor laid out, and it does look decent. So, now it's time to decide how you want your layout. So, you can have like an entrance back here if you want, or you can make the entrance right here where the rooms come out. I'm going to kind of make it like an entrance like this because I want it to have like seating area over here or something, or like a waiting line. So I'll just do something maybe like that. And this will be like the entrance, so you can build that up and do that. I will go ahead and get like the divider where the floor is. Do something like this. Make it look nice. But try to keep the colors consistent with the ship. You know, you don't want to just use different colors every single, way you can. You want to keep it consistent so that it looks professional. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing that. I'm using the colors from the rooms and everything. I'm kind of incorporating them into this. And, you can use details as well. Like, I'll get some slabs or something. We'll get some birch wood slabs, and you can put like a little overhang right here and just make it look, nicely detailed. And make it look nice. There we are. And then glass, you're going to want to get some of that because it's going to be the divider between the two rooms. You can do stained glass if you want, but personally I don't really think that's necessary. But it is your ship, you can do it the way you want. And actually, okay. So we'll go ahead and put the glass down like that. Oops. Come on, World Edit, why don't you want to work today? Or not World Edit, what am I even saying? It is just one of those days, guys. So there we are. Go ahead and fill that up. Like that. And that looks pretty decent, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing up here, because this is again going to be the divider for the upper story as well, because we are dealing with 2 stories here. So, I don't want to do this. It's like I want like a kind of like an atrium type thing going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to extend this floor out, and this is going to be like an overhanging hallway, kind of, if you kind of get what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain, but we'll just make like a hallway hanging up here. We can have like this going this way and this going this way, or actually we need a railing, so we'll just do this. And then you could put your glass right here. And it's gotta be detailed with it, just be creative, because that's really a lot of things you look for when you're doing it. When you're doing in Minecraft is just be creative. Nothing much more I can say about that. Make sure it matches on each side though, because symmetry is very important. Alright. Fill this in. Like that. And then there we go. And that looks pretty nice. And that's actually a decent looking entrance to this place we have going on here, and we'll go ahead and add the overhang again so it's consistent and looks nice. And we'll add the glass as well. Make it all nice and pretty and all that. Come on, there we go. Alright. And forgot the other side too. This is annoying. But you get used to it as you build more cruise ships. Just kind of a thing that you get off of, or that you get used to. Alright, so there we go. We have an entrance going on down there, and again we have to add more of these glass panes. Man, these glass panes really are a pain. No pun intended. Alright. There we are. And this is gonna bug me, so I'm just gonna put those on there, OCD wise. Oops. There we go. Okay, so then we have the entrance going on. And this could be just like a little atrium center, like before you go in, or maybe it could be a waiting room, because I know on most ships they don't open the dining room right away. I think they wait till like this. I think it's like 6 on most cruise ships, or I think they have 2 dinners, and they'll close the doors like at 6 or 8 and wait for the next guest to arrive, but they won't let you in. At least that's what the cruises I've been on. So they usually make you wait in the atrium area. So which is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna make like a little atrium over here, which you can put some seats, you know, like this, and just waiting areas before they get, or for them to get the dining room ready for you to eat unlimited food and get super fat. So we have seats, and you know, you can make them go around like this if you want. But you want to add some detail though. You don't just want to put seats. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back here and get some of these, and this will be our decorations. We can put a plant right there. Oops, plant right there. Greenery, one thing, is one of the best things you can put on a ship, honestly, is greenery. Greenery looks very, very good on everything. It makes it kind of more, I don't know, I just think it makes it look better. So whenever you're in doubt, just go with greenery, because it really will help you a lot. Alright, so there we are. And then we have a little area over here for the passengers to wait. Now, we're going to have to get some lights, so we'll go grab a beacon, like that. And we'll put a beacon like right there. Oops, let's not do that. We'll go over here, and we'll put a beacon right there as well. And I'm just going to fill this in really quickly, just to make it look better. Alright. Oops, did not mean to destroy that beacon. That was an accident. Let's not break things, please, because breaking things is violent, and it probably is a crime. There we are. So there we go. So now let me think for a minute. Alright, so now we have to make the actual dining room area. We have spent all that time on the entrance to it, which does look good. And now we are going to have to make the rest of it. So, I'm going to make kind of like a Carnival cruise ship atrium, or not atrium, I keep saying atrium, it's like, I don't know, I'm feeling weird today. But we're going to make like a Carnival cruise ship style dining room, or actually, I don't think it's just on Carnival, I think I've seen it again on Cunard as well, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to get some quartz. I know I haven't used quartz yet, now I said I have to be consistent, but this is different because this kind of sets a lighter theme for the whole dining room. So it's going to be kind of like a circle going around like this. As you see, it's kind of following the wood as well, so that it's kind of has like a centerpiece almost. Like that. There we are. And then we have to add some detail somehow, some way, so maybe we can get some slabs or something and make it look good that way. So we can put like either a slab on the bottom or a slab on the top. It's just kind of like a ring around, so this kind of defines the theme of the dining room. Like I said, it's kind of like light and dark, kind of mixed-ish. But one thing we do want to do is we're going to want to add some pillars, because we want structural stability. You can't just add this huge mass and not have any stability, so we're going to go ahead and add these, which should make up for the large gap inside the ship. You want to make sure you add quite a bit of these, because it's important that you stay with the architectural stability, because that's another thing that's the lack of in Minecraft, is people not doing this. Specifically people in specific that I'm not going to mention, but I've seen a lot of people do this, where they just like don't have any structural support whatsoever, and it's like it's impossible, because you know, it can't just be a huge gap in here without the ship collapsing. So make sure you do add that, and always be mindful of what you are doing. Alright. So have a nice glass thing going around. Actually, I think this would look better with some darker. Well, actually, no, it looks good enough. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start working on the floor plan. So it's pretty simple. One thing though is you're probably going to want to add some support beams here and there, just because it is a giant space inside the ship, and usually where there would be walls, there isn't. So you would want to make sure that you have support. Actually, you can make these go all the way to the top, actually. Even though there's going to be a floor in the middle of these, you'll still want to make sure that they're symmetrical, or else they're not going to serve their purpose. Meaning, if it's... Okay, so... Just like in normal buildings, the floor's going to go through this, but the beam is still there, and it's holding it up. It's holding all this up, so that's kind of what I mean by that, if you kind of get it-ish. I know it's kind of complicated, and it's just because I'm kind of complicated with my things, so... now we're going to go ahead and choose some variety. Now we'll go ahead and make our tables. I'm going to get a fence post. We'll get a carpet as well. We're going to go ahead and make... What color do we want the tables? Let's make them... I think I'm a light gray. That'll look good. So, now it's time for the table. So these are pretty simple. You just put 2 like that. You put 4 like this. Just do this. And there you go. You have yourself a nice looking table. You can add dividers too if you want, like putting stuff in between it, which is perfectly fine. I typically don't on these kinds because it's going around the ship and it's kind of hard to do that. But once you reach over here, you certainly can. So usually what I do first is adding the tables because I think it's the easiest way first. And then you start adding in everything else because it's kind of consistent to where you know what to do, and then you can start moving on to the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and extend this out because this looks really ugly. Try to hide as much wool as you can because white wool looks very, very just noobish, and it kind of irritates me when people use white wool on ships when they don't have to. But that's just me. So, here's another thing with restaurants. You can go ahead and make dividers as well. Like this. If you ever been in a, I'm pretty sure most of you have been in a restaurant, but you usually see these and they kind of just divide the restaurant. They kind of just give it some, I don't know, structure, I guess, or just some organization. It makes it look like, it just makes it look organized, really, and it's nice looking. And you have like glass dividers with stuff in the middle so you can go through and everything. It just makes it look all that much better. And some restaurants actually use it for their seating plans, so that is also the way to do things. So here you have your tables, and don't make it too cluttered, but you can make it a little bit because it is a cruise ship dining room, but you don't want your guests to feel like, oh, you know, really, really cramped. Because if they're really cramped, then that's no fun. And honestly, I wouldn't want to eat in a restaurant where I'm just squished up next to the person, you know, next to me. That wouldn't be any fun. That would just be really, really bad. Alright, so I got most of the tables laid out. And also, in the middle, if you have dead space like this, go ahead and add like a group of 4 seats like that, and you can make like kind of rings type tables like that. So you can fit some more people in because you do want to feed your entire ship in the least amount of time possible. So you can always go ahead and do that. And now we're going to go ahead, add in the fences because this is this textual support for the table. Because you can't just put floating carpet because that's impossible. Now, maybe not in 20 years, but right now it's impossible. So go ahead and add in these fences and tables and making these tables make them look good. You don't have to use dark fence either. You can use this many, different types of fence. I just typically use dark fence because I think it looks the best. Because typically when you look under a table, it is a black post. So I think this is the most realistic thing you can use. But again, you don't have to. I've seen people that use white blocks and it kind of represents a tablecloth going on all 4 sides of the table. That's great. Typically I would do that in a steakhouse, but just not in this because it's not really a fancy restaurant per se. It's more or less just an average restaurant. So I'm not gonna put that. These tablecloths in. I'm just putting these tables. But if it was a fancy restaurant, then you could definitely do that. Or if you just want your ship to be fancy, like a cute airliner, you can do that. Alright, there we are. I think that's almost all of them. Back here, we can fit 1 more seat. Always look where you can add more seats because you want as many as possible without it looking, super cluttered and cramped. Just make sure that you have enough walkway for people because if you can't, the rule is that if you cannot walk through it, don't put it. But see, you can easily walk through most of these. And also, another thing, you can go ahead and add like a pillar right here, which is like the check-in area, and we'll go ahead and get a slide and put it like right there. Actually move it this way. So you can put this right here, and this is kind of like, when you check in, say, okay, yeah, this table, and then they go bring you to someplace, and that's just a touch you can put. Excuse me. So you can do that, and you can also add small tables for couples like this, people on their dates and all that. Actually, for this to be symmetrical, I want it to be this way. There we are. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add the dividers in between the tables. So what are oh wait, nope, sorry guys, it's just, again, it's just one of those days. I'm going to add another row of these in, and the reason is because I want this to be separated from the main dining room. I want this to be kind of like the fancier area, this wood part for a more upper class people that are staying aboard, so that's what kind of the purpose of this is. So we'll go ahead and add these dividers in again. And again, attention to detail. Attention to detail is very, very important when it comes to this stuff, because, especially when it comes to this, because people are going to look for this when they download the ship. They're going to say, okay, well, where's the dining room? And it's especially one of the touches that you have to make look good. It's very, very important that you do. Because again, it's something that everyone's going to see when they download the ship. It's not like the rooms, you know, not everyone's going to see every single room, but they are going to see every single thing like the dining rooms and the main decks. So you want to make sure that you have this right. So always be mindful of that this is going to be something viewed by a lot of people. Alright, so now we're going to use the white wool, because this is going to be the fancier part of the restaurant. This is representing a tablecloth going down all four sides of the table, kind of. So if you kind of see like a tablecloth, then that is the purpose. And if you want to add maybe some flowers, I know you can get like a pot or something. Oops. Get ourselves a flower pot. And you can get a flower, or we're going to get a rose, because typically that is what you'll see. And I don't know where roses are. Maybe it's a flower. Okay, this is going to bug me. I'm going to find the rose. It's called a poppy. Okay, whatever. It's the same thing. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and add like plants in here if you want. Actually, not on tables of two, that doesn't make sense. But you can put it like that, and it's just pretty much a centerpiece for people to look at. So it's just something to keep in mind, but don't overdo it, just, you know, keep that in mind. And another thing, though, is that you're going to notice that it's really dark. So here's my trick. My trick is that you put in floor lamps. I'm going to show you how you make them invisible here in a second, but put in where it is necessary. And in here, it's going to be necessary a lot of places, because it's a huge room, so you want to make sure it's well lit, and especially because everyone's going to be seeing it. So put as many as you want. You can even make the whole floor beacons if you want to, because of what I'm about to show you. But yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and get some carpet, and choose a color that is the same as yours, or that has the same color as your carpet, which I have cyan, so I'm going to go ahead and use cyan. And then I'm just going to slightly put them over, or like that, and it makes it barely noticeable. Like, all you see is just a little indent in the floor, that's it. So it makes it very, very hidden, and it makes it look very, very good. So that's just one of my tricks of the trade, if you wanted to use it. So now we're going to go ahead and make the dividers of the table, like I said about 10 minutes ago. So there's several ways you can do this. I'm going to go ahead and just use some spruce wood. You can use, I've seen people use plants, I've seen people just use so many weird things. And these pretty much just divide the tables. So sometimes you can put like that, and then you can put glass on top of it, or you can make it really private, and you can put another layer of that on it. I'm going to do this because I think it makes it look more sophisticated, but you can do stuff like this. Now, when it comes to this stuff, don't worry about it. Oops, my mouse is messing up. It's running out of batteries, so yeah. Yeah, you can do stuff like, don't really want to do it here, because it just looks stupid, to be honest, and there's nothing that's hiding you from your privacy, except for this table, which they're 3 meters apart, so just don't even worry about it. But pretty much just worry about it when the tables are right next to each other like these. That's really the only time you need to worry. And back here, you don't really need to worry about it unless you want to do it like right here to divide these two tables. Just be creative with it, and it's your ship, you can do what you want. So that is the first floor. So now we can go ahead and do the second one. So the second one's going to be pretty similar, because, again, it's just dining rooms. So, yeah, it's easy. It really is. So just pretty much take what you learned from the first one and do it to the second one. So we're going to go ahead and fill cyan, blue, light, gray. What other colors do I have down there? I have light blue as well. Light blue. I want to put it at 100. Oops. Yep, I accidentally messed up on that one. Prime example, what not to do. I forgot to add it on this slide. But yeah, just be careful of that when you're doing World Edit, if you guys are using World Edit. I know I've seen in the comments that some of you guys aren't using World Edit, so don't worry about it then. But for those of you using World Edit, be very mindful. Alright, so there we are. So again, first thing I would do is put the beacons. I know I didn't say it last time, but it's actually important you put the beacons first so it doesn't get in the way of anything. There we are. So just add these beacons everywhere, and also it'll be lighting up the other floor as well. So there's another thing, that if you didn't want to add beacons on the other floor, then you don't really have to, because these ones will go through the ceiling and actually just do it themselves. So if you don't want to put it down there, then you can just keep it up here, and it'll still be lit up downstairs. So I forgot to mention that. Oops, come on, here we go. Also, be careful, because when you want to put carpet on top of beacons, you have to press shift. You have to hold down shift, because if you don't, then it's going to click on the beacon menu. So be careful of that as well. Alright, so now we're going to add the dividers, like we've been doing, from that floor. So do that. And add this. Just organization. It's all about that organization, making it look very nice. So there we go. We have our divider set up, and I'll go ahead and add the glass. And also, you could use glass blocks, but I wouldn't because I think it looks very noobish. But that's just my opinion. I like using glass panes because I think it just makes it look more sophisticated and more detailed. But that's just my opinion. You guys can pretty much do whatever you want. It's your ship. But if I saw it, then I'd just tell you the same thing what I just said. So, but again, that's just my opinion. Alright, so we have the divider set out, and we can go ahead and add the pillar type thing down there, or up here, which is for the check-in, like that. And the reason I put the slab right here is so that they can feel important, they can stand above everyone else, so that's pretty much what they do. You can also use, let me show you guys, I don't remember what it's called actually. It's like an enchantment bench, I think. Enchantment table. One thing I've seen people do is they put this down and make it like that, and you can. The problem is I just don't like the looks of it. So that's just my opinion, though. Some people like it, some people don't. It's more or less just a preference. So now I'm gonna go down here, collect my table materials, and start placing down the table layout, just like we did on the last floor. So do this, and I know it's gonna kind of do this. Just don't worry about it. I mean, the tables more or less are just for looks. I know you're not gonna be able to get into the far side of the table. In fact, you can't even get in these tables. But again, it's really just a kind of a looks thing when it comes to this. It's just, you know, when you walk in, you want to see, oh, you know, this looks really nice. You know, they're not really gonna try to sit at the table unless they're trying to do like a role play. Even then, I've never seen anyone do that on a cruise ship. I've barely actually seen it done in Minecraft. So don't worry about that. Too much hypotheticals. All right. So this will be our last table. We'll just make this a table of 2. And we'll just extend this out like this and just kind of cover this up as best we can. Alright, so I know it's kind of showing right there. Actually, we can just go ahead and do this. There we are, and we'll just get rid of this table. Alright, and continue on this way. More tables. I know this is a lengthy process, and it really does take some time, but it looks cool in the end, though, I promise. It really will look good. So over here, we're just going to put some tables of 4. Like this is kind of squishy, but it won't make a difference. Put a table of 4 right there. Put one right there. And put a round table of 4 right here. These round table of 4s, though, come in really handy because you can add these things almost anywhere. And they look really nice as well. Add a small table right there, and we'll add a small table right here. And there we go, we have a little table layout. Actually, we can add, there's a beacon right there, oh well. We can add these on the other side as well. We can add like small tables right here, singles tables, there we are. Alright, so that should be good enough. Now go ahead, add in fence posts, which will be the support for the table. All over again. Oops, there we are. One thing I hate though is that, like, when you try to fly over them, you can't fly over fences. That's one thing I hate, but just one of my pet peeves with them. Oops. Got one over there. Okay, and we got that one, and we're gonna get that one. So now we're gonna go ahead, add the tabletop, which is the light gray carpet. Ah, come on there. There we are. Add those in. These are the ones that take a while, because sometimes these guys just don't want to work. They're really, really annoying. Go. I honestly hate carpets and fences together, but they do look good in the end, and that's why I do it, really, is because it just looks so good in the end. Alright. See, like, it actually looks like a real table, like, you put your legs down there and everything. I don't know, I just like it. It's just my preference. It's just me. But again, like, another thing that I'm just trying to emphasize a lot is that when it comes to cruise ships in Minecraft, it's all about what you want. It's like, you don't worry about what other people are going to think. Minecraft is primarily for you. You know, other people are just a bonus. This is just what you want. This is what you want your Minecraft dream to be, not what anyone else wants theirs to be. So, if people criticize, just tell them too bad. That's what I do. If people criticize my ship, it's like, too bad, I like it, so I don't really care what you think. So, that's just one word of the wise to those of you who get picked on in Minecraft or whatever, says your builds suck. Just don't worry about people like that. They're just jerks, bullies, pretty much. Alright, so there we are. That looks nice. Now the last thing we're going to do is add the dividers from the tables, like we did it down here. Dividing these tables up. Go go ahead and do that once more. And then we'll move on. I think that actually will be it. Right. And you may be wondering, where is the kitchen? Well, we're not going to make the kitchen quite yet. That's going to be in the next episode, most likely. And that's going to be when we do the rest of this deck, because that's going to be kind of what it is. That's what a good portion of this deck is actually going to be, is the kitchen. Or the next deck is going to be, is the kitchen. So that's kind of like what we're going to be doing next. Because usually you designate a whole area to the ship to be the kitchen. So if it's not something, I'm going to have to figure out how to connect this story with this one, but I'll figure out a way. Alright, so that pretty much completes our little thing going on here. So now all we have to do is flip it. So we're going to get our mighty axe, go to the farthest point, which is break one right there, and go there. That's the farthest point on the edge. Alright, I'll go to the farthest point this way, which again is an absolute pain to get to, because it's right about here. I think it's right here. Like that. Second position. So I'm going to go ahead, copy, flip. Alright, so this is... You have to really be careful what you're doing with this one, because this one really is hard to do. So we gotta break through, of course. There we are. Fix what you broke. Alright. Keep going this way, this way, this way. Okay. And hopefully this works. Paste. And it did! First time. Wow, I think I deserve an applause for that. So there we go. We have the dining room, and it does look pretty good, and I forgot that. Okay. Well, I thought we were done, but we're not. Let's do the same thing over here. Select that area. Select this one. Yep, just when you think you're done, you're not. That's kind of the way Minecraft works. Copy. Flip. Alright. Paste. Please work. I hope that worked. Over here, double check. And I don't think it did, actually. Nope, it looks like it did. Huh. Well, I am surprised. I'm actually surprised that worked. Cool. So, there we are. I have an entrance everywhere, and also don't worry about adding doors to these, by the way. They're not really needed. I mean, you don't really need doors if you want, but you can add, like, glass things up there and make it kind of look like a doorway if you want. But they're just, it's kind of like because they're public space, you can just walk in. So, there we go, and I actually kind of like the way this thing came out. So, tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for the support of the series. Be sure to share it with your friends. And thank you so much for watching, and as always, have an awesome day.